Well, we are going to take you to the World Hockey Championship in just a moment. They have opening ceremonies going on overseas. This is live of what's happening in Prague. Those are the mascots for the World Championship, a lighted ceremony. This is a few moments ago. They had a band playing at center ice as well. And a full house, as you would expect, getting ready for the host team against Sweden. Every game that the Czech Republic will play in Prague has been sold out.
Well, they're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat if the Czechs are going to win the gold here in Prague this year, although Jaromír Jágr... What? Yeah, I think I did just say that. But
hat trick, maybe.
Whoa, a hat trick.
There we go.
Could you imagine if you said they're all sold out? If Jágr could get it done, that would be certainly impressive. Oldest ever to play in the World Championships. I saw him come in as a teenager.
When he played with him. What was he like?
1990. Comes in and wins 2 Stanley Cups right away. He must have thought he was going to win a handful of them. It's tougher than it appears. You can ask anybody to play in the National Hockey League, but you know, he came back. He wanted to play for his country with them hosting this World Championships, and this should be quite a performance from him.
He really, even at 43, he's almost Chelios-like. He could probably play into 50 years because of the way he's played lately. The last couple of World Championships, we've watched him, and he's been amazing.
Yeah, he has. Well, he runs the stairs on off days in practice. In between, you know, he's always conditioning himself, Rod. He went back and took a couple years off the NHL, but he was able to come back and produce, and he wanted to go up and go down in history as one of the greatest players ever to play the game. I think he's done that.
Yeah, he has. What do you think sets him apart in his legacy? I mean, whenever he retires, maybe he'll continue to play, but what sets him apart from other players?
Well, he's got his puck protection. To me, I mean, he's got one of the biggest backsides I've ever seen in the way he's able to carry that stick. He always came in with that big toe curve. He worked religiously with Rick Keogh on his shot after practices when he can barely shoot when he came in. Quite honestly, had no shot whatsoever. He's so strong. And you talk about all the players that have followed him since have really made sure that they've developed a good training regimen, building up the base. For a hockey player, it's the legs that feed the wolf. I've heard that one before. And that's exactly what feeds him.
He's known for that long mullet, of course, through the years, but he's also become quite a spokesperson for hockey in the Czech Republic, which before the two countries divided, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, as we take a look again at the ceremonies from earlier today. And they are continuing in Prague. But, you know, he has become really the face of hockey in so many ways in the Czech Republic.
Well, you can see they've already sold out every game for this World Championships, and a guy like Jaromír Jágr, why wouldn't he be the face? I mean, he's been great on the international level, winning those Stanley Cups early coming in, and just like Mario Lemieux, everybody started to play hockey, you know, after him in Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby, and he's been you know, the kids all look up to a guy like Jaromír Jágr, and why wouldn't you? He's been a great face for Czechoslovakia hockey.
Again, over on TSN4, Russia and Norway. We're going to get to the Czech Republic and Sweden. We talked about the Sedins not playing for Team Sweden. Again, some nagging injuries into the playoffs, and they decided that, at least for now, that they're not going to play for Sweden.
Yeah, and that's sad because they are so good and so gifted on the international level. I mean, the World Championships is exactly for them. I think it's built for the Sedins.
Well, we are going to send you to Prague now. We're ready for a puck drop between Sweden and the Czech Republic in what should be a boisterous arena. Once again, let's join Gordon Miller and Ray Ferraro.
And here's a look at the Czech lineup for tonight, and you'll see some familiar names in the National Hockey League, including Jakub Voracek, but the most familiar of all is on the right, Jaromír Jágr, appearing in his 10th World Championship for the Czechs. Tomáš Hertl, the great San Jose youngster, here as well. And the Czechs are playing a skater short. They've left some spots open here for the Swedes. They've still got 5 spots open. Jonas Enroth and Anders Nilsson will share the goaltending duties. Enroth starts tonight. Philip Forsberg has just arrived from Nashville. And players like John Klingberg from Dallas, who's also an outstanding rookie in the National Hockey League this season. Elias Lindholm, the terrific Carolina Hurricanes forward, has joined this team as well. Joel Lundqvist, the twin brother of Henrik Lundqvist, is taking part in his 6th World Championship. He's a 2-time gold medalist. The referees are Daniel Piszczek from Germany rather, and Alexei Radulov from Finland. Already today, the United States has beaten Finland handily. Canada took care of Latvia tonight in Ostrava. Norway takes on Russia. So it's Enroth against Alexander Salak instead of Andrei Pavlik. Some surprise here that Pavlik doesn't get the call in goal for the first game. The Czechs are back in action against Latvia tomorrow, Ray.
It is a surprise. I thought Pavlik would get the start. Alexander Salak was in North America, played in the Chicago Blackhawks organization for a couple of years. Has come back, been in Sweden in the KHL the last couple of seasons. But a pretty charged atmosphere in here tonight for the Czechs opener at home.
It's a holiday, May 1st, a Friday night, and the World Championship is underway. And this is Vladimir Sobotka to face off against Joel Lundqvist, the 33-year-old who plays for Frölunda in the Swedish league. The Swedes, by the way, are not getting any players from the Detroit Red Wings who were knocked out by the Tampa Bay Lightning the other night. They're all nursing minor to severe injuries. Jonathan Eriksson has a broken foot. And the Czechs in white are underway. Jakub Voracek, the NHL's top point getter in the season for the Philadelphia Flyers, feeds that in front. And a shot by Martin Erat goes wide.
They were hoping for Gus Nyquist as well.
He's shaken up.
And Stefan Kronwall is in the lineup. Nick Kronwall's brother. They were hoping for Kronwall as well, so that none of the Red Wings are in the lineup, so the Swedes a little short here for their opener.
Now you can add players in this tournament anytime up until the gold medal game. The Swedes would certainly do that. Here's Jágr spinning back in the corner. John Klingberg on him. Jágr picks it out and shoots. And that futter's just wide of the goal. Jágr scored 17 goals this year between New Jersey and Florida. In a race in the corner, this is Philip Forsberg, number 9, who's just arrived, as you mentioned, from Nashville, along with Mattias Ekholm, and a big hit there in front of the Czech bench by Daniel Rahimi. In come the Czechs, loose in front. The puck rolled off the stick of Jan Kovac, who was busting in. Roman Chervenka plays that rink wide to Peter Kaslava. His long shot goes wide. And loose in behind the goal is Yuri Novotny. Another former National Hockey League player, spent 4 years in the NHL between Buffalo and Columbus. A first-round pick of the Sabres back in 2001. And now a play called in behind the Swedish goal. And we're going to face off there.
The Czechs come out rather physically, but it's Daniel Rahimi with the first real hit of the game as he got one on top of Jaromir Jágr inside the blue line. There you see the coaches, power marks for the Swedes. He's his 5th straight year coaching Sweden at the World Championship, and the always entertaining Vladimir Ruzicka behind the Czech bench.
Ruzicka was the captain of the 1998 Czech team that won the Olympic gold medal in Nagano. Now here he is, 18 years later, coaching one of his teammates in the World Championship.
Now that 68's defied a lot of the odds, hasn't he?
Now brought in by Tomáš Hertl. Scored 13 goals this year for the Sharks after a breakout year the year before, in which he suffered a knee injury that really interrupted his progress.
So a little bit of a step back here, as many second-year players do, but Hertl has got all kinds of tools, and as the Sharks retool, he will be a big part of their future.
Mattias Ekholm, number 14, trying to bring it out for the Swedes. He too has just arrived from Nashville. Plays it across for Stefan Kronwall. Now back up the center ice it goes. Icing waved off as Peter Kukal goes back. Hjalmarsson back to pick it up. Simon Hjalmarsson is the brother of Niklas Hjalmarsson of the Chicago Blackhawks. In North America, they say Hjalmarsson, but here in Europe, they go with the more traditional Swedish pronunciation of Hjalmarsson. Oscar Klefbom of the Edmonton Oilers, number 84, brings it in. Puck spins around in the corner, Hayda on it. And now gathered up and a chance for the Swedes. Elias Lindholm couldn't get a shot away. And there's a quick shot taken by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And Salak fights that off.
Salak didn't look like he was expecting that shot at all, as Ekman-Larsson wafted that in from the left wing, and it caught Salak by surprise.
Now Erat throws that to an open wing. It's picked off, and in come the Swedes. The play across, they score! Joel Lundqvist on the Czech turnover gives the Swedes a 1-0 lead.
The Czechs were halfway through a disorganized change at the blue line. The puck went D to D, but there was no Czech player to receive it. It just bounced off the sideboards, and the Swedes were able to make a quick transitional play. Here's the pass off the wall. You see, Nemitz was going off the ice for the Czechs. He wasn't able to play the puck. He doesn't even see it. It goes off the boards, off his skates. Josephson lays this back perfectly for Sjögren, and Sjögren's pass is on the tape, and Joel Lundqvist gives the Swedes the game's first goal.
And Par Martz is very happy. He just doesn't show it.
That was almost a smile.
Coached the Swedes to a gold medal in the World Championship in 2013, silver at the Olympics last year. And barring something unforeseen, is expected to coach the Swedish team in the World Cup in the fall of 2016. Now Michael Jordan across the line, tips it ahead. And the pass rigged wide by Kleppish misfired. So Irat's pass goes astray, and the Swedes take advantage. Jágr was taken down. There are Jágr sweaters not only all over this building, all over this city. Everywhere you look, someone's got a 68 on. Philip Forsberg across the line. Not a finalist for the NHL Rookie of the Year award, and the day he got the news, he scored a playoff hat trick against the Chicago Blackhawks. McCladel trying to clear it out. Sjögren centered it again, and this time jumping up was Kronwall for it. Now McCladel has it back. Plays in Finland for TPS Turku, one of the legendary teams in that league. And now Hurdle drops it back. Back home, back for it. These teams clashed in the medal round last year. Sweden winning 3-0 to take the bronze medal, as the Czechs finished fourth. Sweden's won the last 3 World Championship meetings against the Czechs.
Alexander Salak didn't have much chance on the Joel Lundqvist goal. Here we're going to take a look at the change again. The Czechs are halfway through the change. The puck bounces off the boards. Josephson grabs it first. Sjögren's pass is right on the tape for Lundqvist, who doesn't waste any time. Salak actually makes a strong push across the net, but the puck gets between the pad and glove, and the Swedes have the early lead.
You could see why he didn't want to play the puck. It would have been too many men, but it winds up in their net. I
don't think he even saw it the way it went by his feet. It was like he'd already committed to the change. He didn't see the puck. He probably wouldn't have played it anyway, and the Swedes walked into a golden opportunity and didn't make any mistake with it.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson led all NHL defensemen with 23 goals this year. Now Lindstrom pulls it back in front, and a chance on the side of the goal for Oscar Moller, who rolled that wide. Now Klefbom holds the line. His long shot stopped by Salak. And Peter Krukal has it back for the Czechs. Ahead for Martin Zatovitz. That's turned away, and back to pick it up is Jan Kolář. Here comes Irat across the line, playing for Arizona in the National Hockey League this year. At one time was traded for Sweden's Philip Forsberg. Forsberg went from Washington to Nashville in exchange for Irat.
The wheels just came off of Martin Irat's career when he went to Washington. He didn't score for about 35 games, ended up in Arizona.
Now a turn on a chance in front for Sabotka, can't get a shot away. And a pass picked off by the Swedish captain, Stefan Kronwall. In comes Elias Lindholm. Works in, waits, can't get a shot away, got hooked. As Irat stepped into him, so Irat with a giveaway. And now a hook. That'll send Sweden to the power play. Good evening and Dobre Dan from Prague here in the Czech Republic. On this Friday night, the Swedes have an early 1-0 lead on the Czechs.
And the game's first power play, Marty Irat in the penalty box for hooking. It's not been a very good start for him.
No. So Jimmy Eriksson, who plays for St. Petersburg in the KHL, steps in for the faceoff. The Swedes control the line. Ekman-Larsson for Jakob Lindstrom in, shoots, and that's over the glass and out.
Lindstrom came to Toronto, of course, at the trade deadline, and the deal for Olli Jokinen, and actually had some pretty good moments as the Swedes look to capitalize on the power play. Oscar Moller was a Los Angeles draft pick Probably got rushed a little bit into the NHL and struggled a little bit with the skating, kind of lost his way in North America, but had a pretty good year this year in the KHL.
Wait for AK Bars Kazan, who got to the KHL championship game. There's Ekman-Larsson with a long shot that's stopped by Salak. Now played down the ice in a race for it as Moeller has to hustle back. Fired in by Moeller. And Eriksson plays it back for him. It's skipped away. Here's Lindstrom on it. Joachim Lindstrom. Loose in the corner. Plays it back to Ekman-Larsson. Joachim Lindstrom. Peels back. Finds Ekman-Larsson. Now the cross-ice pass goes to Lindstrom. John Klingberg manning the other point. The power play is snuck right to the side of the goal. Now Ekman-Larsson with it. Across to Lindstrom. In, shoots, and Salak saw that through the traffic and is able to hang on with Jimmy Eriksson digging for a rebound.
Well, pretty good puck movement for the Swedes, but nothing into the middle of the ice, and Salak is able to track the puck through some initial traffic, and then Lindstrom's shot was swallowed up.
There's Anton Lander, the Edmonton Oilers, stepping in for the face-off against Peter Kukov. And a scramble draw controlled by the Swedes. Minutes to go in this power play. And now Lander sets it up. Back for Ekholm to Lander. Anton Lander spins back. Ekholm plays it across to Kronwall. Works it and shoots, scores! Stefan Kronwall power play goal, and it's 2-0 Sweden.
Kronwall moved in off the blue line down to the low hash mark, and Salak plays this poorly in the Czech goal. He leans to his left, and Kronwall beats him to the short side. Traffic in front of the net by Louis Eriksson. You're going to see Kronwall move up to the blue line, then back down low, and Salak's off his post. That just can't go between the post and the goaltender. Well played at the point by Ekholm. He moves the puck down to Kronwall, and the shot goes between Salak. I know he's fighting to see the puck, but he's got to squeeze off the short side. Not a very good start for Vladimir Ruzicka's team as they're down 2, just 7.5 minutes in.
As Ruzicka, known as a fiery head coach, both at Sparta Prague, where he's been very successful, and with the men's national team in his second time around. This is his 5th World Championship. He's got the Czechs to gold in both 25 and 2010, but has repeatedly clashed with Czech Ice Hockey Association authorities. But the results tend to speak for themselves.
His 5th time coaching the World Championship team, but all the way back to 05. Coaches for a couple of years. Seems to have a disagreement. Out he goes, and then he comes back.
Now loose in the corner. Played down to Victor Rask of the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming in to help out is Elias Lindholm, his Carolina teammate. And now Ekman-Larsson has it. And Hjalmarsson with a shot that deflects down in front. And Kolash knocks it away for Jágr. Every time he touches the puck, a cheer goes up. Here comes Jágr in the corner with it. Jágr loves that wraparound move, but Clefbaum stayed with him. Now Jágr feeds it back to the point, and it's held there by Kovacs for the moment. Clefbaum leaves it there for Ekman-Larsson, who scored 23 goals this year from the blue line for Arizona. He was the bright light in a bad year for the Coyotes.
The most dangerous offensive player on the blue line. Really skate, agile player.
Now busting into Sobotka, loose in front, and stopped by Enroth. Jonas Enroth gets a pad down and makes the save on a streaking Vladimir Sobotka.
Well, Sobotka got through the middle quickly.
There's the Czechs' first shot on goal more than 9 minutes into the first period. Jakub Josefsson falls in the corner. And there's Nemitz with it. Nemitz was a second-round pick of Pittsburgh all the way back in 2002, who did not come to North America, and now it's called offside at the Swedish line.
Terrific pass by Jakub Voracek to Sobotka through the middle of the ice. Sobotka, who the St. Louis Blues dearly could have used this past year. He left in a contract dispute, although awarded a one-year contract. He's still the Blues property. He tries to go through the 5-hole of Jonas Enroth. and the fans had hope. But Enroth able to keep the puck out of the net. And Sobotka had the Czechs' only shot, or certainly their best chance in the first half of this first period.
Now Forsberg tries to slide it ahead, and it's intercepted and chipped back in by Zadovich, and way out the plate is Enroth. And now fired back in by Kukal. Enroth plays it around, and Philip Forsberg tries to chip that ahead. The pass missed Lander. Philip Forsberg, the only rookie to lead an NHL team in points this year, and is not a finalist for the Rookie of the Year award. Now Lander in, shoots, and Salak fought that off, setting it just wide. The centering pass didn't miss Forsberg by much. Kukal, long, rink-wide pass, and as Klepish gets ahead out of his reach, it's icing against the Czechs.
Staffan Kronwall's power play goal. Another look at it. Ekholm moves the puck down to Kronwall and through the Eriksson traffic. Kronwall just shovels this at the net. You see Salak looking for the puck, and by the time he finds it, it's behind him, and it's 2-0 for Sweden.
And you can look at Louis Eriksson, one of the veterans on this Swedish team, the 29-year-old playing in his 5th World Championship, was part of their gold medal team in 2013, a 2-time Olympian. And now at the line, Jonas Anilov can't hold it, and flips that into the Swedish bench.
I saw the mascots involved in the pregame thing. They were flying out of a hat.
So the mascots to the icon, Jaromir Jagr. The only Czech to play in 5 Olympics in hockey.
11th in games played, 5th in goals, 4th in points all time in the National Hockey League.
And a good chance there that Jonas Enroth fights off. And there's Jagr back with it. Looking for Kovac, still at age 43. The second oldest man ever to play in this tournament.
I mean, he had Jimmy Eriksson, who's 6'2", 207 pounds on his back there, and he just held him off. Eriksson wasn't able to get near the puck.
Now Jagr makes his way off. And Daniel Rahimi has it. 3rd-round pick of Vancouver in 06 was Rahimi. Played a few years in Manitoba, the American Hockey League, parts of 3 seasons, but did not stick in North America. And this year played for Linköping in the Swedish Hockey League. Rink wide is Martin Erat in the box for the second Swedish goal. His giveaway led to the first. And now work back and a chance through the crease. Back out of there by Voracek with Sobotka. Erat leaves it there for Voracek. He's battling with Victor Rask. They spin. Voracek knocks him down. The puck is under Rask. No one can see it. It's finally picked up by Sobotka. Now Sobotka plays it back, and that long shot from the point by Jordan pinballs around in front. Sobotka's got it. Drops it off. A penalty coming to the Swedes. That shot is lifted high by Krejcik. Hurdle plays it back to Jordan. In comes Krejcik with it. That long shot again, powdered high. That time by Cervenka. Sweden still doesn't touch the puck, as the Czechs have the extra skater on the ice. Krejcik drops it off for Cervenka. Drops it off to Jordan. Krejcik at the point, plays it across. Kovac drops it down to Cervenka. A long time here with the extra skater on, and they don't rule that possession run. Now they do, as Josefsson touches up. And the Czechs down 2 will go to the power play when we come back to Prague. .7:29 to go here in the first period. Swedes up 2-0. The Czechs, they'll get their first power play of the game. And they'll start Kovac with Erat and Jagr up front. Voracek works the point along with Nakladov. Voracek, number 2 in the NHL in assists this season. And where's the captaincy for the Czech Republic? Through the middle for Erat. Brings it across for Nakladov. And Jagr takes the drop pass, but he was tied up there by Josefsson. Erat plays it around. Voracek directing traffic. Leaves it in the corner. Ekman-Larsson with it. Plays it down to Kovac. Jágr throws it back to Kovac. Walks in. Plays it across. Here comes Voracek. In. Shoots. Enroth makes the stop. And Irat couldn't reach the rebound. Here's Irat back with it. Back to Voracek. Ekman-Larsson. Voracek. Ekman-Larsson fires. Scores! Jakub Ekman-Larsson, power play goal. The Czechs and their home fans are back in it.
The Czechs answer the Swedes' power play goal with one of their own. Ekman-Larsson, who had 3 goals in the KHL this year, pounds this from the blue line. It goes all the way through. Good puck movement. Voracek's pass is on the tape. This might hit Jágr in front of the net. It goes right past Jágr. Ekman-Larsson with the goal, and the Czechs have energized the building after 12 minutes or so of pretty quiet play from them. They had the breakaway by Sobotka, and now Ekman-Larsson gets them on the board, and it's 2-1.
Looked like that did hit something in front. So Ekman-Larsson, as you mentioned, plays in the finish. I think the Czech players are spread all over the place this year. Hurdle, of course, the National Hockey League player. He looks ahead. He's got Cervenka kicks it ahead and couldn't get that puck to sit for it. One of the things you'll see in this tournament is late in the period, the ice will get choppy. Second game here today. Pretty hot in the building. And now racing back. Kaslava with it. And played back to the Swedish zone where Jonas Enroth leaves it there. They've given the goal to Ekman-Larsson. Winning his 3rd World Championship. Now Moller comes in for the Swedes. Tied up there by Nemitz. And Stefan Kronwall holds it. In the corner is Stefan Kronwall. It's muscled off the puck by Nemitz, and away come the Czechs. Simone plays it over Kukoc, plays it across, and a chance but Kukoc fired it. And Enroth appeared to get a piece of that. And now back at the point, it skips over the stick of Michael Jordan of the Carolina Hurricanes and back down to the Czech zone. And now Jordan pounds it back in. 5 to go in the opening period. Krejcek plays it around for Voracek. Jakub Voracek. Back to Jordan. Jordan shoots and it just wide on the deflection. Looked like Sobotka got a piece of that in front.
You can see why the Blues miss Sobotka. He's got so much energy. He skates. He's physical.
He's a face-off machine as well. He's one of the top face-off men in the league almost every year he played in the NHL.
He's built like a fire hydrant, too. He's short, squat, really strong. They'd love to get him back in their lineup.
One of the few people in history who's chosen to live in Omsk, Russia over St. Louis.
I didn't know many people had that choice.
He did. High off the glass it goes. And Jágr drops it back for Klepish, who spins back. Jakub Klepish. Played both the Swedish and Czech league this year. And here comes Jágr. Steps around Lander. Jágr throws it back in front. Jonathan Eriksson Louis Eriksson picked it up. And now Ekholm with it. Matthias Ekholm. For Lander. Rink wide he goes. And Sjogren throws that ahead for Ekholm, who jumped into the rush for Sweden. Louis Eriksson spins back. It's bumped hard by Heda. Lander, though, holds the line and flips that to an open corner. Reaching back is Novotny. Unclear, Ray, what the Swedes are going to do. They've got 5 open spots. They're allowed 22 skaters. They've only got 17 here.
Gord, one year that I was here, we kept spots open, but eventually you run out of players that are willing to come. They're not able to come. We ended up adding a player right before the semifinal game, but the Swedes are pretty short-handed here.
That was centering pass, and a long shot dribbles down in front. That was Kaslava getting that away. They've now given the goal to Jágr. So the power play goal goes to Jágr. They're saying he touched it in front. And they have a chance spinning and shooting. A terrific chance there for Kukal. Now loose in front. Enroth makes the stop there. Simone got a good chance away. Back come the Swedes the other way. Centering pass for Moller missed. Joachim Lindstrom, and things open up here late in the first period. A centering pass for Moller. That was knocked down. And Kolář plays it back down to the Swedish zone. John Klingberg, 11 goals as a rookie for the Dallas Stars. He spent some time in the American League this year. Now he shoots, and the rebound drops down.
The Swedes got to get the puck to the net. Every time it gets within 10 feet of Salak, it's an absolute adventure in there. That one he didn't catch. It just hit his chest and bounced forward. There's the last Russian chance that just went through the middle of the ice. The cross-seam pass bounces all the way back to Kukal, and his shot just ping-pongs wide of Jonas Enroth.
Big cheer goes up as they announce the goal goes to Jágr. Now Sabotka back for it. 2 to go in the opening period. Jordan plays that back for Krajcik. Plays for Örebro in the Swedish Hockey League. And Krajcik has it back. Jordan to Klepish. That's hacked rink wide and picked off by Klefbom. Looks at for Forsberg. He had his pocket picked. Now Klepish looks ahead for Cervenka. Roman Cervenka peels back in the corner. Drops it down to Klepish. Now Landers lost his stick and he had some help. We're going to call a high stick against the Czechs as Jakub Klepish goes off.
Pretty good battle going on in the corner between Kovac and Anton Lander. And watch Klepish, number 20. He gets the elbow up into Lander. Here's the power play goal. You see the deflection by Jágr is the point shot from McLadel. Off the Voracek pass is about knee high. And then it catches. It looked like it almost hit the guy in front of Jágr too, and then Jágr. In any case, Jágr gets it.
And why wouldn't he?
He's on the board, so are the Czechs, and now the Swedes, who scored on their only power play of the period, get their second chance.
100 minutes to go now in the period. Ekman-Larsson looks ahead. Jimmy Eriksson. Rink wide for Lindstrom. Joachim Lindstrom drops it back for Klingberg. John Klingberg spins it back. Lindstrom works in, waits, and shoots. Look out, that just missed the head of Sabotka. Now Moller walks in. Oscar Moller drops that down to Eriksson. Jimmy Eriksson plays it back to Ekman-Larsson across to Klingberg. And did he hold the line? Yes, he did, apparently. Here's Klingberg back with it to Ekman-Larsson. For Klingberg with time. Walks in, plays it across. Lindstrom with a shot. Now is blocked. As Michael Jordan stepped in front of that. Now Moller with it. In, shoots, and Salak made the stop on that. It was over the glass, up and out.
Nice block by Michael Jordan on the Lindstrom one-timer, but man, oh man, what outstanding mobility by John Klingberg on the blue line as the Moller shot went off the coconut of Salak up into the netting. Moller, who played his junior hockey in the Western Hockey League, then was called up to Los Angeles at 19. Had 14 goals this year in the KHL.
Fired down the ice, and the Swedes will have 50 seconds of power play time to carry over into the second period. 2-1 they lead after the opening 20 minutes. You're watching the 2015 World Hockey Championship from Prague.
I have a video.
Alexander Salak and Jonas Enroth in the goals tonight in this Czech-Sweden game on the opening night of the 2015 World Hockey Championship here in Prague on a holiday Friday. It was a boisterous city last night, this morning, this afternoon, and into this evening, and likely through the weekend.
Yeah, the metro ride will be quiet on the way back.
Oh. Vladimir Ruzicka against Par Martz, two very different men behind the bench. Martz shows no emotion at any time. Ruzicka has been known to yell at agents during games. The one thing they've had in the Czech Republic, and when you think about it, from 2000 to 2012, or that 12-year period, Ray, more than 600 young players left the Czech Republic to play major junior hockey in North America. And that talent drain is something that Ruzicka, other leading coaches and executives have been trying to reverse with some success in recent years. They've passed a rule in the Czech Extra League, their top league now. They have 18 skaters and 2 goaltenders like the NHL, but you can expand to 20 skaters if you want, as long as they're under 20. And the key is to make sure they play.
They also have their national junior team that has started to make some inroads.
Outside. Faceoff will come outside, so you've got young players who stay in the Czech Republic. Tomáš Hertl would be the icon of that.
Yeah, they would use him as the gold standard, someone that stayed home, became a first-round pick. And you can see what the benefit would be for them to keep them at home. And if you keep your top talent at home, everything else around it becomes better for them.
This is a country passionate about the game of hockey. Liberec won the Czech Extra League title this year for the first time. The same thing happened in Sweden. Vaxo won the Swedish Hockey League Championship. They're a first-time winner. Of course, in Sweden, the other thing they watch for is their Cabal Series, where teams get knocked out. Leksand is getting sent down this year. There's McLeod with that shot that was off a stick and wide.
That may be your favorite part. You love that play.
It's awesome. Yeah. Imagine if 2 NHL teams played 4 American League teams, and the 2 teams with the best records got to be in the league next year. Leksand is the equivalent of a Toronto or Montreal, one of those popular teams in all of Sweden, and they've been relegated to the Allsvenskan or second league. That would be unbelievable if teams in the NHL had to play to stay in the league. In comes Jágr. Tries to work that back in front for Yuri Novotny, and that pass bounced astray. Tomáš Hertl lost the puck to Hjalmarsson. The play remains onside. He shoots, and Salak gloves that.
Quick wrist shot from Hjalmarsson from the left side. Salak with the glove stop, and Simon Hjalmarsson played in the KHL this year. He had 11 goals in 33 games and has played in the World Championship a couple of times.
Par Martz coached the Swedes in 3 straight World Juniors and was hard luck in 2 of them in 08 and 09, losing gold medal games to Canada. In 08, the Swedes were all over Canada, hitting the goalpost moments before Matt Halischuk scored the golden goal. And in 09, they decided the one-sided gold medal game in Ottawa. But Martz has been a key part of the renaissance of Swedish hockey, especially at the junior level. There were the dark days of Swedish hockey between 2002 and 2009, where not a lot going on for them.
Really seems hard to believe now that they could have been that disorganized and lost.
Well, so defensive. Swedish hockey was famous for how defensive it was. The lowest scoring league in Europe. Kronwall snaps that pass ahead for Louis Eriksson, who chips it down. Now the lead pass goes to Sobotka with that first period breakaway. Sobotka sends it rink wide. And that shot taken by Martin Irak goes off a leg and wide. Back to pick it up is Jakub Klepish. Former Portland Winterhawk in the Western League. And here's Sobotka with it. To Voracek. Jakub Voracek winds his way in, shoots, and that floats wide of the goal. Jakob Josefsson of the New Jersey Devils picks it up. And Josefsson winds his way in. Josefsson still looking to get some traction in the NHL. As Jágr brings it back the other way. Got tied up there and knocked off the puck by Jonas Anilov.
Every time Josefsson has had a leading role in New Jersey playing in their top six, he's not been able to score enough to stay there. This year, towards the end of the year, found a little bit of a danger spot for himself. He played on a third line. Dangerous killing penalties. Had 3 of his 4 goals that shorthanded towards the end of the year.
Now the pass picked up by Klippers. Enroth makes the stop. The rebound squirted free. And Jimmy Eriksson moved that away. Now pushing and shoving in the Swedish crease. We've got a penalty coming up for the Swedes. And as they touch up, it's going to be an interference call that will go to Jimmy Eriksson. And the Czechs got a power play here. 4.5 minutes into the second period. I mean, it's Anilov who goes off, not Eriksson. Eriksson did skate in the penalty box. I think he was on him.
Here's the play in front of the net, and right there at the tail end of it is where the interference call is on Anilov. So the Czechs who scored a power play goal, Jágr's goal, who became the oldest player to score a goal in the World Championships. Probably got a few of those records around, but the Czechs look for the tying goal here. After falling down early the first 7.5 minutes, 2-0, they've got a chance to even the score here in the first 5 minutes of period 2.
Ekman-Larsson flies it across to Voracek for Irat, through the middle for Kovac. And now Jágr playing pitch and catch with Kovac. Voracek sends it back in front, point blank save by Enroth on Jágr. Rebound, loose in front for Irat, and then slid wide by Jágr. 2 good chances for the Czechs there on the power play. Kovac with it. Lays it around to Voracek. Drops it back for Irat. Martin Irat feeds that across, trying to find Kovac in the crowd. In any language, you know when they're yelling shoot. Ekman-Larsson plays it across to Voracek, a one-time shot blocked by Kronwall. Now Voracek back with it. Voracek winds in, waits, sends it in front, and a chip wide by Irat, went off a leg. Jágr shielding off a check. It knocks Ekholm's stick out of his hands. Ekman-Larsson makes that shot off the skate of Ekholm. Kovac to Ekman-Larsson, back to Kovac. Jágr standing in front. Kovac trying to find him. And now Ekman-Larsson back with it. Voracek takes that pass, sends it back, and that pass just missed Irat.
It's 3 times they've tried that play. Voracek to someone, either Irat or Jágr in the slot.
Here's Jágr now. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Voracek sends it back to Irat. And now Ekman-Larsson takes a shot. It broke his stick. The loose puck bounced away. And now Voracek takes a swipe at it, knocks the puck wide. Final seconds of his power play. Slava shoots, that's blocked. As Anilov steps out of the box, Irat throws that rink wide for Cervenka. Cervenka takes the return pass from Klepish, and the Swedes move it out. And this is icing against Sweden. So at the end of a long penalty kill, the Swedes won't be able to change.
Now they're going to have to corral everybody back on the ice. It looks like Martz Wisely's going to take his time out here. Those penalty killers now have to stay on the ice. We're on the ice for the full 2 minutes. There's a really nice save from Jonas Enroth. Beautiful feed from Voracek through to Jágr. Enroth gets his pad down to make the stop.
Even by Swedish standards, Par Martz is stoic. And on the left is Rickard Gronberg, the head coach of the Swedish national junior team. They got them to a gold medal in 2012 in Alberta.
That was the Zibanejad overtime goal.
Yeah.
Ruzicka watched his team's power play control the puck, get a couple of real dangerous chances, but not able to cash in.
Vladimir Ruzicka, Ray, a great junior player for the Czech Republic. Only Pavel Bure has scored more goals at the World Junior Championship than Ruzicka. It's 27 to 25.
When he went to the Boston Bruins, he was older, 26 or 7 years old. That building was made for him. He didn't have to skate very far, and he could shoot it. He had a terrific wrist shot.
Now the long shot is blocked and scooped up by Josefsson. Ruzicka also played for Edmonton for a short time.
233 NHL games for Ruzicka.
And funny he'd be so fiery as a coach, but he's very quiet as a player.
Oh yeah, he was not that as a player. He was more a finesse player. And
there's another guy like that for Finland. Raimo Suominen played in the NHL, never said a word to anyone. He got fired from jobs in the KHL in Finland because he was a lunatic. Threw stuff on the ice, threw stuff at fans.
Funny, you put a suit on and
no one knew he had teeth when he played in the NHL. 7:15 gone here in the second period. Lander spins back. And Hayda plays that to the line and out. And racing toward Zadovitz. In comes Martin Zadovitz now peeling back in front of Ekman-Larsson. He falls. And his pass goes rink wide to Nemetz. Andre Nemetz with a pass that just missed the stick of Dominic Simone. 2-1, the Swedes lead here in the second period in Prague.
We had
Back at O2 Arena in Prague, one of two major hockey arenas in the Czech capital city. This one does not get used a lot. The KHL Prague team that played here last year went to the championship against Magnitogorsk. Took a year off due to financial problems. Sparta Prague remains a powerhouse franchise in this country.
just the travel in the KHL is just almost prohibitive cost for them.
Well, Vladivostok in the Eastern Conference is a good 13-hour flight away, 9 time zones away.
That's the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Lindstrom drops it back to Jimmy Erickson.
That's not like Detroit playing in the West for 20 years.
No, Haberovsk and Vladivostok are, when you see those in the schedule, you hope it's back-to-back. A number of these Czech players either are or have played in the KHL, which is becoming less and less of an option for them with the financial turmoil in Russia. Yager, of course, played in Omsk in the KHL.
3 years gone from the National Hockey League. Who can imagine what his numbers might have been? But he really was a different person and player when he went to the KHL than when he came back. When he came back, all of a sudden, he's the guy at the rink at 11 at night doing extra skating and doing extra puck work. He took Jakub Voracek under his wing. Voracek blossomed into a elite power forward when Yager was in Philadelphia.
Now Hjalmarsson shot got blocked by Kleppish. And Hjalmarsson back to pick it up. Rossi goes to Klingberg. To Stefan Kronwall. Haven't seen a lot of Philip Forsberg here tonight.
We would think he's a little tired, just got here.
Mattias Ekholm's had more ice time on the blue line, but again, playing a limited role tonight. Again, for a Swedish team that only has 17 skaters dressed. So one below the NHL maximum. Now Lindholm turns it over. In comes Hurdle. He's taken down. And swinging back to pick it up is Lindholm. For Ekman-Larsson.
Can he ever skate?
Look at him go. Ekman-Larsson across the line. Shoots it. Salak just got a piece of that.
Could you imagine if the Swedes' blue line, if Erik Karlsson would have come? They were hoping for him. He decided not to play. He was banged up a little bit at the end of the year, but can you imagine that? Swedish power play with Karlsson and Ekman-Larsson on it.
Never mind, that's 5-on-5. Every shift to be a power play. Dominic Simone. Played for the Czechs at the World Junior Championship in Malmo in 2014. Lander threw his man down. A penalty now to the Swedes. So Kovac taken down. Anton Lander will go off. Doesn't like the call. And so the Czechs are going back on the power play after being pretty dangerous on their first.
The last Czech penalty was a foul against Lander. There's the penalty as he throws down Kukal behind the net. So we'll see if the Czechs shoot the puck a little bit more. They really possessed it well on that last power play, but really nothing from the outside with traffic in front of Jonas Enroth.
So the Czechs just 2 shots on goal in the period so far, but a shot away from tying this midway through the second period.
Just 6 in the game for them.
Voracek on the backhand along with Nakladal. And Jakob Nakladal fires it around. Irat leaves it there for Kovacs. He lost it to Jimmy Eriksson. And Eriksson's away shorthanded. Jimmy Eriksson buys some time. Finds Analog. And now Moeller makes his way off. 30 seconds gone on this power play. Jágr works it across the line. Nifty move by Jágr. Oh, he does it again. Oh, what a shot. And a save by Enroth. Jaromir Jágr almost scored a highlight reel goal.
This place would have exploded if he was able to cash against Enroth.
This city might have gone up. What a move or two by Jaromir Jágr. You have that look on your face like you've seen it before up close.
I've seen that, and that's not a fun place to be if you're trying to get the puck back from him. He's able to move it, 6 or 7 feet from side to side. He makes a little pivot on the inside edge, and he's gone through the middle of the ice. It's an amazing move. Enroth hangs tough.
Now Eriksson bangs it off the boards and back out with 40 seconds to go in this power play. Lead pass to Kleppish. In shoots. Pad save by Enroth. And brought out now by Elias Lindholm. 5th overall pick to the Carolina Hurricanes back in 2013. Scored 17 times this year in his second year with Carolina.
He's a good player. Good poise on the ice. With good hands, uses a long stick. He covers a lot of the ice. Carolina's got a couple of good ones, and he and Victor Rask, who just left the ice as well.
Kovacs plays it across. Jordan in, shoots, Enroth save. And digging for it there was Sanovitz. And play is called. 2-1, Sweden leads. You're watching the 2015 World Hockey Championship. Sweden has just 1 shot on goal here in the second period, still leading 2-1 after early outbursts in the first.
But they've held the Czechs to just 8 shots, only 2 of them 5-on-5, 1 short-handed. The Czechs just 5 shots, or rather 5 of their 8 shots on the power play. Not generated anything when the play is 5-on-5 as it is now.
We're well past the halfway point in the second period. There have been just 16 shots on goal total in the game. Lots of chances though. Shots blocked, shots gone wide. Shots passed up on. Dominic Simone winds in, drops it off. And the return pass misfired from Michael Jordan.
There is something, Gord, about playing on an ice sheet this big that makes you think pass before shot. You just never seem as close to the net as you do in North America. I know from playing on it that you often look for that extra pass as opposed to just shoveling it at the net and getting to the front for a rebound.
Yeah, that's stepping to Klingberg, and back goes Cronwall for it. Cronwall played parts of 4 years in the NHL, Toronto and Columbus. Klingberg, rink wide for Louis Eriksson. Eriksson gets around Irat from a sharp angle, fires. Slack makes the stop and gathers up the rebound.
He hasn't had much to do in the period. Makes the stop. There's Jágr, and we're going to get a look at that wonderful rush he made. He looked like he was going on the outside. He went between Analog and Rahimi. Everybody wants to see Jágr score.
Even though he's not old enough to remember him when he won the Stanley Cups in 91 and 92 at Pittsburgh. Scored one of the greatest goals in the history of the Stanley Cup final against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, he beat Brent Sutter 3 times on that goal.
Yes.
Brent Sutter could play the game.
And in Viking, Alberta, a television set was just hit with a beer. Thanks for reminding him.
It's a great highlight.
There's Forsberg with it. Philip Forsberg. Someone in the building's got a whistle. And we saw that in an earlier game where someone was pointing at their ears saying they thought they heard a whistle. Kovash looks ahead. Knocked down by Ekholm. And Ekholm and Roman Josi, Nashville has two of the best and most underrated defensemen in the NHL.
Ekholm is going to score more than he did this year. He's just getting his feet wet as an offensive player. Scored 7 goals and 18 points, but he strikes me as a guy that's going to be a 35-point defenseman.
He and Ryan Ellis are a terrific partnership. The Nationals, a quick shot by Chalmerson, stopped by Salak. Rask back on it. Under 6 to go here in the second period. Winding back is Lindholm. Elias Lindholm drops it off for Hjalmarsson. Hjalmarsson stays on it. Here's Lindholm with it along with Rask. Wraparound, try and fight. Oh, what a goal by Rask. He reaches out. No look, taps it in, and it's 3-1 Sweden.
Gordon, we were talking just a little bit ago about Elias Lindholm and what a good year he had with 17 goals for Carolina. Victor Rask had 11. Rask was a second-round pick in 2011. The two of them play together a lot. They kill penalties a lot in Carolina. They've done the same here. And a pretty good forecheck by the Swedes. They control the puck and get it down below the goal line. But watch Rask in front of the net. He just spins on the puck. Excellent eye-hand coordination as he has to spin and hit the puck on its way past. Lindholm lays it back behind the feet of Krejcik, the Czech defenseman. And Victor Rask pushes it into the empty side. And the Czechs' momentum is gone. The Swedes have stretched a 1-goal lead to 2.
Two-time World Junior champion is Victor Rask, who is making his senior level debut with the Swedish national team. So the Swedes regain their 2-goal lead late in this second period. Noel Lundqvist, who opened the scoring, in on the forecheck now for the Swedes, and Kronwall drops it back. Kronwall. Lays it across to Klingberg. John Klingberg puts it ahead to Lundqvist. Lundqvist got straightened up at the blue line, plays the puck back in deep. 4:45 to go here in the second period. Poked ahead by Simone. And now Klefbom tries to snap that pass rink wide. It's intercepted, and Sobotka knocks it down. Lead pass from Kolash. And away comes Voracek. Jakub Voracek. Bumping there with Eriksson. And Ekman-Larsson skates away from Erat, throws that pass ahead for Moeller. That misfires. And Kolash plays it back around.
One thing, whether the Swedes are undermanned or not, they can play a system and they check extremely well. Among the smartest players that you're going to play with.
Sobotka drops it back, and that shot by Cup is turned away by Enroth.
They just haven't given up very much, and when they have, Enroth's been very sharp.
Jonas Enroth was the tournament's top goaltender in 2013 when the Swedes won the gold medal on home ice in Stockholm. Here's Jágr with it. Spins off Ekman-Larsson, throws it back in front. Enroth to save. The puck's still loose. Ekman-Larsson from his knees plays it ahead for Forsberg. And now Forsberg tries to play that ahead. Ekman-Larsson has it back. And that puck goes over the glass and out with 3:29 to go here in the second period.
Get another look at the goal by Victor Rask. It starts with really good work by Lindholm and Hjalmarsson to control the puck. The spin and puck control by Elias Lindholm allows Rask to even get to the front of the net. That's a wonderful spin by Victor Rask. And Rask played his junior hockey with the Calgary Hitmen. Makes it 3-1.
Hey, look at this Swedish roster. Lindholm's 20. Rask is 22. Klingberg's 22. Ekman-Larsson's 23. They're back to cranking out players again.
Adam Larsson started to make some strides this year in New Jersey as well, the defenseman. He was the number 4 pick in the draft a few years ago. Mika Zibanejad's not here. They have a next generation of player coming.
Here's Hurdle with it. Under 3 to go in the period. Now that pass picked up by Novotny. Drops it back with a long shot by Hurdle. Turned away by Enroth. Kolak. Up ahead is pass to Zanovitz. Finds the mark, and Zanovitz's shot goes wide. And racing to it now is Kukal. In the corner for Zanovitz. And there's Zanovitz with it. Sends it back, and the pass for Kukal bobbled off his stick. And very calmly, Lindstrom plays it ahead and finds Moeller. Moeller had that knocked away. There by Dominic Simone. And now fired back in by Peter Kukal. Under 2 to go in the second period. Sweden back in front by 2. On the goal by Victor Rask. A sweet feed from Elias Lindholm sets him up. Jimmy Eriksson fires it around. Voracek kicking at it. Now Voracek up ahead to Sabotka. He finds Erat. In comes Martin Erat. Spins and shoots. Save made by Jonas Enroth. The puck goes into the corner. Now Sabotka battling for it. Klingberg took it away from him. Shots are 11-10 now in favor of the Czech. Klingberg back for Lander. Anton Lander drops it back to Eriksson. And Louis Eriksson hesitates at the line. It's called offside.
There hasn't been any sustained pressure really throughout the period. There's been chances off turnovers. This one is a wrist shot by Hurdle that deflects off the Swedish defenseman. Turned aside by Jonas Enroth.
(14-12). The shots in favor of Sweden. And that was an icing call against the Czechs. And the clock's still running. 4 seconds are off the clock, and now you got Ekman-Larsson to it, along with Kovac. Kovac has his first name on the back of his sweater, even though he's the only Kovac in the lineup. But they had another one they were going to bring and didn't. So he gets the rare distinction of getting his first name on the back of his sweater. Ekman-Larsson gets 2.
Just to confuse you if you were trying to read it.
Well, then there's Magnus Svensson Pajärvi. He's gone to Magnus Pajärvi, but his brother goes by Svensson, which makes perfect sense.
Of course it does.
And here's Josefsson. Plays the puck down to Sjögren, who set up the first Swedish goal. Sjögren being watched there by Nimitz. Sjögren knocked out. Cupper trying to chip it out. And Jágr dumped at the line by Joel Lundqvist. Lundqvist has lost his stick. 30 seconds to go in the period. Jan Hejda, long lead pass for Kovac that was broken up by Ekman-Larsson. Here comes Jimmy Eriksson with a shot that Elias Lindholm rather ramps off a stick, up and out of play.
The Swedes led 2-1 after the first, now 3-1 as we look at the hit by Lundqvist on Jaromir Jágr. Lundqvist had the game's first goal.
Remember when Jágr got hit by Alexander Ovechkin at the Olympics in Vancouver?
Sounded like a car crash. That was as big a hit as I can remember.
And the thought was at the time, Jágr doesn't have it anymore. He can't see well enough. He can't get out of the way anymore. 5 years later, he's still doing it. Right off the draw. That shot taken by Joachim Lindstrom, knocked away by Salai.
Neither player was the same in the tournament after that hit.
Salak almost had that go through him right as the horn sounds to end the period. So the Swedes and the Czechs exchange goals here. 3-1 the score through 40 minutes. Jaromir Jagr has become the oldest man ever to score in the World Hockey Championship. He has the only goal for the Czechs as they trail Sweden 3-1 entering the third period of play. Sweden held just 4 shots on goal in that second period.
One of them, the goal by Victor Rask, that stretched the 2-1 game to 3-1. Now the Czechs have to find a way to generate enough chances on Jonas Enroth to get themselves back into the game. They spotted the 2 early goals 7.5 minutes in and have not been able to equalize the game.
Ekman-Larsson has had lots of room to roam on the big ice surface. The most dynamic offensive defenseman in the National Hockey League. And there's Joel Lundqvist, the twin brother of Henrik, who has a legitimate beef with People magazine. If Henrik is one of the 50th sexy people in the world, then his identical twin brother, by definition, has to be as well.
You would think. However, just outside the top 50, apparently.
With us, just marginally outside the top 50. There's more ice problems. We saw this during the Canada game as well. Along the boards, there's been some ice issues. And again, teams are practicing on this ice surface in the morning, playing on it 2 games, sometimes 3 games a day here.
You start to practice less as the tournament goes along, but still 2 games and then start 4 hours apart doesn't give the ice maker much chance.
And it's hot here.
And it's not going to get any cooler. The temperature's supposed to rise into next week. And
the old face-off violation called on the center ice draw to open the period.
That's maybe a little tight.
That one's done cleanly, and now we can begin with the rules properly observed.
You're a rules guy. You like that.
Louis Erickson sends it in. I like to break them. And you might as well know them if you're going to break them. Here at that drop pass for Hayda. And looks ahead for Nemitz. Oscar Klefbom. Back at the point. Caught over the long shot. Enroth makes the save. Now back on it is Irat. To Voracek. Jakub Voracek throws it across ice. Hayda moves up and fires it around. And Voracek back with it. Now Sabotka moves it on Klefbom and reaches around and sweeps that away. Now back at the point, that shot taken by Kolash was off a leg and wide, and now it's by Kolash and back down to the Czech zone. Icing called against Sweden.
Swedes have used their timeout, so they wouldn't be able to change anyway, even though it's early in the period.
There is Peter Popovic, who is much taller of the 2 coaches on the bench. Former New York Islander, Montreal Canadian,
New York Ranger.
Yeah. And there's the man they call Rosie, Vladimir Ruzicka.
Lander does a good job on the draw again.
Guy who really kind of talk about finding traction in the league, did it in the second half of the season in Edmonton.
Sometimes you need a break, and the break for Anton Lander was that Todd Nelson became the coach, and Nelson had seen him put up a bunch of points in the American League, and he revitalized his career in Edmonton. And really, to me, looks like a third-line center that you can count on. A guy that can skate, will produce some points. He's good on the draw. He skates well.
Oscar Moller, a guy who, as you mentioned, never really did find the traction. Won 2 Swedish Hockey League titles with Skellefteå, which is a powerhouse franchise now in northern Sweden. Won back-to-back titles in 2013 and 2014 and has cranked out a lot of players for the NHL. One thing about hockey in the Czech Republic, it is an assault on the senses. There are seldom quiet moments in these games. Fans chanting and clapping and singing and music during the stoppages. Cervenka tries to center it, and look out. Going hard to the end boards there was Yuri Novotny. A penalty coming to Sweden. Cervenka's long shot. And that's felled Sweden's Jimmy Eriksson. Now trying to wind his way in is Krajicek with it. The extra skater is on for the Czechs.
Well, Jimmy Eriksson can't move.
And that shot by Cervenka goes off a stick, up and out. And Eriksson is just now trying to make his way to the Swedish bench. The Swedes have a penalty coming to the Swedes for interference. That will send the Czechs to an early power play here in the third period. And Joachim Lindstrom is the man who'll go off. And
here's the penalty: is Lindstrom gets tied up going to the net with Novotny. Novotny crashes into the boards, and the Czechs have a goal on the power play. They'll look for another one. They've been dangerous at times. Their last power play, their most dangerous chance was that wonderful rush by Jaromir Jagr.
Jagr out there now along with Irad and Kovac up front. Voracek on the point on the Czech power play. Jagr feeds it back to Voracek. Jakub Voracek across to Nakladov. It was hit point shot that was tipped home by Jagr for the Czechs' only goal. Voracek tries to snap that across, and it's two Swedish sticks. And Sjogren fires it down the ice. Now Voracek is stolen away in that shot, whistled high and wide by Hjalmarsson. In comes Irad across the line for the Czechs, and the play is called offside.
Not a great shift for Jakub Voracek. He turned the puck over in the offensive zone, and after Nakladov reversed the puck to him, it came too hard and bounced off the boards, and his stick came right out to the front of the net where Simon Hjalmarsson had a scoring chance. However, he hooked it about 5 feet wide.
Cervenka for the face-off. Won the drawback. Hjalmarsson knocked it to the line, but not out. Rink wide it goes. The shot pounded on goal. Rebound. Enroth down. They score! Tomáš Hertl. Power play goal. And the Czechs are back within one.
Second power play goal for the Czechs. They moved the puck from the left side of the ice to the right side to Nemeth. And Gord, I was wondering why he was shooting the puck from where he was. There was nobody on that side of the ice. Watch how much room he's got. I'm wondering why he doesn't move the puck in 20 feet. Well, he shoots it. Enroth can't handle it. Hits him in the shoulder and bounces up in the air. And then Tomáš Hertl, really good strength on the puck. He hangs there and hits the post, the back of Enroth's foot, and in the net. But that's terrific strength by Tomáš Hertl to put the rebound by Jonas Enroth. And 3 minutes into the third period, it's a completely different game.
Hertl played in Slavia Prague for Vladimir Ruzicka, playing his third world championship at just the age of 21 for the Czechs. So here they are, back within a goal again. Irad with it now. But both their goals you mentioned have come on the power play. As Hejna winds and shoots, Enroth the save. And he'll hang on to that. The Czechs have not generated much 5-on-5.
Very little of it. Very little cycle, very little attack out of the corner. Here's another look at the goal. It's a really nice pass by Klepis across the ice. Enroth can't handle that long shot from Nemeth, and then Hertl just stays on the puck, uses his size to hang in against Kronwall and Ekholm, and puts it away for the power play goal.
And now the face-off gets by Nakladov and back down to the Czech zone. So lots of time here. Just under 17 minutes remaining in the third period. The Czechs spotted Sweden 2 early goals in the game, but have fought back, trailed by 2 twice, and are back within 1. Klepis tries to feed that header, bounce away from Cervenka. Just past 10 o'clock at night here in Prague. you a happy good afternoon wherever you're looking in across Canada on day one of the World Hockey Championship. Oscar Moeller works in. Moeller in, plays it across, score! Joachim Lindstrom fires it home, and once again, Sweden is up by 2.
This is a gorgeous feed from Oscar Moeller, and Joachim Lindstrom one-times this by Salak. The goal's 1 minute and 16 apart. Every time the Czechs get close, they turn the puck over. This time, it's Krejcik who's trying to chip the puck into the zone. It's blocked by Moeller. Moeller hunts it down and then puts this right on the tape for Joachim Lindstrom. Lindstrom shoots it back against the grain. Salak can't make the save, and the Swedes are up by 2 again.
So Lindstrom, the now former Toronto Maple Leaf, is the rumble that he's signed with St. Petersburg in the KHL next season. So Lindstrom has been in North America, gone home, come back to North America, gone home, come back again, now gone home again. Or back to Europe at least.
He always had the look of a guy that was going to produce a little bit more. I thought even when he came to Toronto that he'd get a chance in a more offensive role and be able to generate some. He just wasn't able to get it done at the NHL level. Maybe he needs the big ice. Maybe he needs a little more space.
First shot on goal for the Swedes in this period.
They have not gotten spectacular goaltending from Alexander Salak tonight. I would say it's a fair bet that Andre Pavlik will be in goal for their second game.
That'll be against Latvia tomorrow.
And then a day off. And then they'll play the Canadiens on Tuesday.
Zanovich wheels it around. Now Jágr on it. Saboka steps up. Picked off by Irat. Loose in the corner for Jágr. Saboka jousting there with Jonas Analov of Sweden. And Jágr back on it. So strong in the puck. 3 Swedes trying to strip him, and Jágr stayed on it. And here he is again. Centers it for Irat. Irat plays it rink wide, but having to retreat there was Kolash. He kept the puck alive for Jágr. Irat crisscrossing with Jágr. And now finally moved out, and Lindstrom chips it by Nakladov. Number 5 gone here in the third period. United States with an early volley in this tournament, beating the Finns 5-1.
Lots of talk about the number of young players that the U.S. had on their team. Connor Hellebuck, a Winnipeg Jets prospect, was in goal today.
Voracek throws it ahead, and the shot taken by Kaslava, but gloved easily by Jonas Enrod. You're watching the 2015 World Hockey Championship on TSN. There's over 17,000 here tonight. Dancing, singing, clapping. All Swedes in the crowd. The gold sweaters are everywhere. For a long time, Ray, the Swedes didn't like wearing these blue uniforms.
Which is a shame, because I think they look great.
They were desperate to avoid it. In fact, at IIHF meetings, they would claim that their gold uniform was also their away. And that was finally put to a stop, but they were wearing blue when they won gold in Torino in 2006. They don't seem to mind it ever since. The Trey Kroner with the 3 crowns on their uniform. Here's Kukic working in front, plays it across, the bouncing puck, and a penalty coming to Sweden. Michael Jordan plays it across. Voracek to Klepish. The extra skater on again for the Czechs. And Jordan has it knocked away, but the Swedes haven't gained possession yet. And racing back for it is Kaslava. Voracek looks ahead and finds Novotny. Yuri Novotny drops it back in the corner for Irat. And all this coming with a delayed penalty on the way for the Swedes. And finally, Ekholm touches it up. And with 12:47 to go here in the third period, Jakob Josefsson, who goes off for Sweden.
to pass once too often. Klepis gets right to the middle of the ice. He's right in front of the goalie and wants to pass it to the left. Josefsson gets called for the penalty, and now the Czechs, who just moments ago scored a power play goal to make it 3-2. We'll get back to the power play and try and make it 4-3.
Cervenka lost the draw cleanly to Lander, and that allows Analov to fire the puck down the ice for the Swedes. .12.5 to go in the third period. A 4-2 Sweden lead. Now Lander picks it off short-handed. In comes Anton Lander, pivots back, he lost the puck, and quickly back come the Czechs. Cervenka in, shoots, Enroth makes the stop, and the puck sticks to him, there's no rebound.
It's a good stop for Enroth. He comes out and challenges Cervenka down the wing. After Lander gets the puck poked off his stick inside the blue line, quick up by the Czechs, and look where Enroth is, out on top of the crease. He's not sure where it is, except it's up near his arm somewhere. He hangs onto it as Cervenka tries to go up over his right shoulder.
Scramble draw this time goes to the Czechs as Jágr pokes it back. Ekman-Larsson. That pass from Tomáš finds the stick of Voracek. Jágr standing in front. Ekman-Larsson to Voracek. Ekman-Larsson. Voracek works in, sends it back in front. Near it on the deflection, stopped there by Enroth.
They're going to get that play to work yet. It's about 5 times they've moved that puck from Voracek to either Irat or Jágr in the middle of the ice for the deflection.
Now Voracek takes the lead feet but stumbles. And the puck squeezed by him and back out to center ice. Kovac. Back to Ekman-Larsson. To Kovac. Works in and shoots it at Jágr up high. And the loose puck fired wide by Irat. Now Hayda falls. Kronwall lost it to Irat. To Ekman-Larsson. Feeds across to Hayda, and there you got a crease violation. Jágr was standing in the crease, and the face-off will come outside.
Looks like Jágr got a slash on the left hand as he heads back to the Czech bench. It might have been on this shot, too, that... Oh, there's a pretty good slash from Kronwall. There's one. Oh, Jágr took a little bit of a tap on the bottom of his glove. But if it misses the padding, it still doesn't feel very good. Your hand gets pinched in there. So the Czechs have melted off 1.5 minutes of this power play with just the one dangerous pass. Voracek to Irat.
Dominic Simone battles for the puck down low. In the final seconds of this power play. Picked off by Hayda, drops it back to Hurdle. As Joseph steps on, Hurdle can't get a shot away. And now Jordan holds it. And it remains a 4-2 Sweden lead. Now Hurdle sent flying by Rask. And that long shot by Novotny is gloved by Jonas Enroth.
This is the goal where Moller blocks the clearing attempt in by the Czech defenseman, and he finds the pass across to Joachim Lindstrom, and Lindstrom makes no mistake. Moller makes it look like he's going to shoot to hang on to it as long as he can, but Salak's got to get his pads more open than that to cover more of the bottom of the net. The puck slides right by his right leg into the net.
Now Kovac with a shot, and again it pinballs down to Enroth, who hangs on. And we got a Czech player down in front. It appeared to be Kukal who was dumped, and he hit his head pretty hard on the ice by the looks of it. Analov, the man who knocked him down.
It's the point shots, the traffic in front of the net. Analov got him with a bit of a cross check in the middle, or in the mouth area. Watch this, the shot goes, you're going to see his stick right here, he catches him in the jaw, and that's a little dramatic, trying to draw the penalty.
So Kukov makes his way to the Czech bench. And no penalty indicated right now. Referees are from Germany and Finland.
Almost every defensive zone face-off, the Swedes either have Joel Lundqvist or Anton Lander to take the draw. Lander's well over 50% in the circle for the Swedes. He'll take this draw to the left of Jonas Enroth.
Against Sabotka.
Another win for Lander. Good help on the draw.
That'll be a key factor later in the tournament. Big hit by Sabotka as he dumped Anilov. And here is Kolash with it. Jan Kolash, who plays for Vladivostok in the KHL, the Far Eastern Conference of that league. Past the midway point of the third period. Swedes up 4-2. Rahimi plays that ahead. And Salak plays it across to Jordan. Shots are now 20-15 in favor of the Czech Republic. And there's an icing call against the Czechs with 9:27 to go in the period. Actually called offside. Check that. So Sweden has one shot on goal in the period. The goal by Jakob Lindstrom.
They haven't necessarily given up a lot either. There's been a few saves that Enroth had to make, but the Czechs have been not a very dangerous team at 5-on-5. They're going to have to get something to get themselves on a chance to get close in the game, and it's going to have to be at when the manpower is even.
Jordan fires it in for the Czechs. Now Kuppers moves to the front of the goal. Battling there with Rask. Kuppers plays it around for Cervenka. John Klingberg lifts that high off the glass. It goes up and out of play. It deflected, and the faceoff will stay in the Swedish zone. In most other years, the kind of year that John Klingberg had, 11 goals in 65 games with Dallas, would earn him the Rookie of the Year award. Not a finalist this year.
A fifth-round pick Klingberg was in 2010. Almost came out of nowhere in Dallas. They had some injuries on the blue line, and the general manager, Jim Nill, decided that they wanted to get younger, and they were going to give their young guys an opportunity. And after Patrick Nemeth, another young defenseman, was hurt, they called up Klingberg, and he lit up their offense right away.
Sjogren back for Ekman-Larsson. Moeller plays it back in behind the goal for Lindstrom. And Jakob Lindstrom works across the top. Ekman-Larsson with it. Now Moeller falls, a chance for Hayda, 3-on-2 for the Czechs. He's got Hurdle with him. The pass bounces around. Simone, backhand shot, scores! Dominic Simone, and the Czechs for the third time are back within a goal.
I was thinking as this 3-on-2 was developing that Jan Hayda was probably the most unlikely guy to be carrying the puck up the ice. But Dominic Simone, the 20-year-old who's been a real energetic player for the Czechs in the game, is going to find the loose puck in the middle of the ice on the Hayda pass. And he takes it to his backhand and beats Jonas Enroth. There's Hayda going up the ice. He loses the puck once and then just throws it in the middle, and it ends up right on Simone's stick. Lindstrom does a good job back-checking, but the puck deflects to Simone. The backhander beats Enroth. And the economical Czechs score again. They haven't had many shots, but they got 3 goals on Enroth, and with 8.5 left, they're within 1.
2-1, 3-2, 4-3. The Czechs keep chipping away here with 8.5 to go in the third period. Racing to it now is Jágr. Jágr now pivots back. Fights off Anilov and feeds it back to Nakladel. Here's Saboka now. Saboka fights off of Swedish checker. That was Daniel Rahimi. And now Nakladel back with it. And Rahimi goes back for it. Klingberg fires it down. Salak leaves it there for Kaslava. Now a lead pass. In comes Cervenka, busting in a backhand shot, scores! Roman Cervenka ties the game.
Goals a minute 5 apart. Both backhanders. The first one by Dominic Simon. This one by Roman Cervenka. Watch the play on the boards by Jakub Voracek. As the puck is coming around, he's already looking into the middle of the ice. He sees Cervenka splitting the D. The pass is perfect. It catches him in stride. A gorgeous backhander by Cervenka. This one up over the glove. And Jonas Enroth, who gave up a pile of goals this year in Buffalo, gives up another one. And Vladimir Ruzicka gives it the fist pump, and the Czechs are even. What a pass from Voracek and a beautiful finish from Roman Cervenka.
In his 5th World Championship, he was a gold medalist back in 2010 for the Czechs. Ekman-Larsson fires, and Salak makes the save on that. On their feet in Prague, it's 4-4 here in the 3rd period. They're partying on a holiday Friday here in Prague. The Czechs have finally pulled even. The game is tied for the first time since the early stages of the 1st period. But Joel Lundqvist opened the scoring for Sweden. In comes Jágr with it now. Down a goal at least 4 times. Down by 2, 3 times. The Czechs have battled back. At the line, Ekman-Larsson for Ekholm with a long shot. That goes wide. By the way, if the game is tied at the end of regulation, a 5-minute sudden death overtime period, 4-on-4. And then, if necessary, a shootout. Last year at the World Championship, the Czechs had to beat France in a shootout in their final game just to get into the middle round. Long shot taken there by Ras, knocked down by Salak. 12-2 the shots on goal for the Czechs here in the 3rd period.
Maybe this is predictable, Gord, as the Swedes, we've mentioned a few times, short on the bench. He's run out of gas here. They cannot get to the puck and hold the puck in the zone.
And a couple of guys like Forsberg and Ekholm who just got here from North America.
Right, they've not played very much, and I'm telling you, those guys, if they feel anything like I do, they're totally gassed. And we're just standing here.
You could take a power play shift, though. You'd be good for that. You'd go for a power play.
I could do that. Pretty tough to get the legs moving here. They've not played very much, so with 15 skaters, really only 13 of them at full strength.
Busting in his hurdle for it. Right wide it goes. Louis Eriksson waiting for it. And in comes Philip Forsberg. In, fires. He put that just wide. Ekman-Larsson a long shot. That's kicked away by Salak. Louis Eriksson. Up at Anton Lander. Spins it behind the goal. And Nemitz with it. Now a chance for the Czechs busting ahead. But Zinovich couldn't quite reach it. Now Lindstrom. Joachim Lindstrom works in, drops it across, takes a return pass from Sjogren and fanned on that. Now Sjogren hacks it wide. Loose in the corner is Joachim Lindstrom. Under 4.5 to go here in the third period. And back down to the Swedish zone it goes. As Moeller is back to pick it up. Watching the Russian game. Russia and Norway is over. Welcome those of you watching.
Shimon and Cervenka both backhand shots past Jonas Enroth, and now we enter the last 3.5 minutes, tied at 4.
Shots 13-2 in favor of the Czechs here in the period. In comes Dominik Simon, who's got one of the Czech goals tonight. And Simon gets loose, sends it back in front, they score! Martin Zanovich, and the Czechs have the lead.
A broken play. Zanovich is going to be the recipient of the puck that slides to him, and he puts it away. Forsberg turns the puck over inside the blue line, and all of a sudden the Czechs have a break. Zanovich goes to the front of the net. The initial pass goes to Novotny. Novotny's shot goes off the toe of his stick, right on the tape of Zanovich. And the Czechs have scored 3 times, 4 times in the third period for a 5-4 lead. 3 of them in 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Wow. And now we've got 3 minutes to go in the third period. There were long stretches in this game where the Czechs were mustering nothing 5-on-5. They've exploded here in the third period. Now Stefan Kronwall drops it back. Sjogren plays it across. Moeller with a drive. That goes wide. 2:45 to go in the third period. Voracek picks it up and slides it down to the Swedish zone. We'll keep an eye on Jonas Enroth in the Swedish goal. Parmarts, the Swedish coach, pretty conservative most of the time. Does not or has not liked to pull his goaltender early. Now Jordan plays it ahead. Hurdle chips it up. Ekman-Larsson trying to knock it down. The puck in the feet of Cervenka. Fans here jumping, dancing, singing, clapping. You can feel the building shaking. Elias Lindholm sends it in. Under 2 to go in the third period. Brought in by Ekholm. Enroth remains in the Swedish goal for now. Makes his way to the Swedish bench. So the extra skater is on. The Swedish net is empty. And Novotny on the loose puck. Lindstrom brings it ahead. Got brought down. A penalty coming to the Czechs. Now Klingberg back with it. Feeds it back to Kronwall. Long shot knocked down by Salak. And as the Czechs touch up, Sweden will get a power play with 1:25 to go in the third period on the tripping call against Peter Kukal.
There's the trick. Kukal gets his stick into the feet of Joachim Lindstrom. So the Swedes don't have a timeout. But nobody seems in any great rush to get the puck dropped here. So the Swedes having a meeting just outside the blue line.
A 6-man huddle. So a 6-on-4 power play with 1:25 to go in the third period. Alexander Salak's had some shaky moments in this game. Now he'll be tested down the stretch here. Sjogren in for the face-off against Sobotka. And Sobotka won the draw for a moment. Picked up and fired down the ice by Kolai. Klingberg drops it back to Ekman-Larsson. That pass misfired. Ekman-Larsson to Louis Eriksson. Back to Ekman-Larsson to Klingberg. Under a minute to go in the period. Klingberg sets it up. Chip right on, they score! Lindstrom misfired on a shot. Matthias Sjogren taps it home. It's a power play goal to tie the game at 5 with 53 seconds to go in the third period.
Much like the Czech goal that made it 5-4 by Zadovic, this is a miscued shot that's going to open up the goaltender. Look at Lindstrom on the side. He one-times it, but he misses it, and it turns out to be a pass into the high slot. Lindstrom's shot barely reaches Sjogren, and this goes right through the legs of Salak. And a crazy, wild third period. It was 3-1 Sweden entering the period. It's 5-5 with 53 seconds remaining.
Picked up by Voracek. In comes Jakub Voracek. Slides it across for Cervenka. That pass just missed. Victor Rask being bumped there by Cervenka. Picks up the puck in the corner. Centers it. Back to the point it goes. And that shot by Kaslava was blocked. The Swedes are back 3-on-2. Elias Lindholm across the line. For the trailer Rask. In he comes. Rask shoots. Penalty coming. Loose puck. Salak dives. And we've got a penalty call coming here. With 25 seconds to go in the third period, it's a hooking call to Jakub Voracek. He doesn't realize yet it's against him.
Oh, I think he does. He's just hoping over at the bench, but this is pretty porous defense by the Czechs here. Look at the chance that they're going to give up. It still almost ends up in the net. Hjalmarsson whiffs on it. And then Matthias Ekholm's there too. He finally gets a stick on it. Salak holds onto it with 25 seconds left.
Now the result here is significant if it goes to overtime. Under the IIHF rules, 3 points for regulation win, only 2 points for an overtime or shootout win. Oscar Moeller feeds it back to Joachim Lindstrom. 15 seconds to go in the period. Lindstrom winds and fires, and Salak kind of lunged at that and went wide.
That's that head save again by Salak.
The final seconds now. And this power play is going to carry over into OT as Moeller can't get a shot away. 5-5 is the score. On to overtime we go. On a dynamite Friday night in Prague.
It's your first overtime game of the tournament. Could be a thriller into a shootout. Who knows? Sweden will go 4-on-3. All 4-on-4. Sudden death overtime. 5-minute. Still tied. We go to a shootout as we send it back to Gord and Ray in Prague.
Well, we've seen a thing or two in international hockey over the years. How about a 3-1 Sweden lead going into the third period? Becomes a 5-5 tie. There have been 44 shots taken between the two teams in this game, Ray. 10 of them have gone in.
What we call a game of dodgeball, Gord. Yes. There's not been many saves at either end of the ice here.
And now the overtime period begins with Sweden on a 4-on-3 power play for a minute and 36 seconds.
Joachim Lindstrom's on the ice. He's got a goal and an assist in this third period for the Swedes. Sjogren has a goal and an assist. He's on the ice as well.
And the always dangerous Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it.
22 goals in the National, 23 goals in the NHL for Ekman-Larsson this year.
Led all NHL defensemen shooting his number. Now Moeller with it. Plays it back for Lindstrom. A 4-on-3 power play on big ice. And Lindstrom with the drive. Salak makes the glove save, drops it down for Hayda. He was tied up by Sjogren. Ekman-Larsson across to Moeller. To Ekman-Larsson. Takes the feed from Lindstrom. Now Lindstrom tees it up and shoots. Salak makes the save, and this time to hang on.
As soon as Salak made the save, he got up and went right over to the official to have some words with him. I'm not quite sure what this could be about. Sjogren's not in the crease. Lindstrom's shot is swallowed up.
Lindstrom off the face-off win. Walks in. Slides across ice for Moeller. One-timers everywhere. Moeller to Ekman-Larsson. Back to Moeller. Ekman-Larsson across the top. A wrist shot was blocked. Loose puck in front. Ekman-Larsson in. Oh, and a stop by Salak. 6 out the pad and takes one away from Ekman-Larsson. Now loose to the side of the goal for a moment as the Czechs misfired. Fired down the ice by Novotny. Enroth back on it, finds Moeller. Moeller goes to the middle, moving Eriksson in alone, a backhand shot stopped by Salak. And suddenly Alexander Salak emerges as Lindstrom walks in, waits, shoots, that's ripped wide. 10 seconds to go in this 4-on-3 power play. 2 unbelievable saves by Salak after a shaky night of goaltending. Klingberg, Louis Eriksson to John Klingberg. Walks in as Voracek steps back on the ice. Moeller shoots. A leg in front. Now Louis Eriksson back on it. Centers up the pass in behind Lindstrom. These penalty killers have been on the ice for a while now for the Czechs. Klingberg has spun around. And Hayda has it now. Jan Hayda. Long lead feed for Voracek, who makes his way off the ice now as Klingberg picks it up. In the corner, battling forward is Cromwell. Hurdle intercepts that pass. And Herat swings it rink wide. Late pass goes in. Jordan with a chance. That goes just wide. Michael Jordan with a perfect chance to end it for the Czechs. Now brought back 2-on-1 by the Swedes. Philip Forsberg with Louis Eriksson. Forsberg in. Doesn't pull the trigger. And staying with him was Michael Jordan. Jordan limps off as Herat comes in. Martin Herat walks in, centers it tack wide by Hurdle. And for the guys who just arrived getting off planes, overtime, the last thing they wanted to see, including this guy, Philip Forsberg. Jumps it across the line. 2 Czechs converge on him. Ekman-Larsson comes in. Now Ekholm flips it back in the corner, but it's knocked down by Kolai. Naklato lays it back under 2 to go in the OT. Ekman-Larsson for Elias Lindholm, who falls, spins that back in front, and Naklato has it for the Czechs. And Kronwall taps it back to Klingberg. John Klingberg works in, knocked away from him by Cervenka. Race for it now. In comes Zadovich. Zadovich peels back as his line mates are changing, drops it down for Klepish. Jakob Klepish. Plays it back at the point. Hayda can't hold it. And Nemitz has to retreat. Up for Klepish with Voracek. Klepish in, shoots. And Enroth got just a piece of that to knock it wide. Nemitz plays it back, but the puck bounced off the shin pad of Klepish and back down the Czech zone. And now a minute to go in OT. Long shot taken there by Kaslava. And Enroth hangs over that. Now Klepish into Kronwall. They're separated with 54.7 seconds left in overtime.
Ekman-Larsson with an awesome move, beaten by a terrific stop by Alexander Salak. You see Salak plant on on his left foot as Ekman-Larsson looked like he was going to the backhand. He moves to the right to make the stop, and then moments later he makes this stop on Louis Eriksson on the breakaway. We haven't seen Jágr in overtime. I thought Ruzicka might use him on the face-off here in the offensive zone.
Down a long shot, kicked away by Enroth. And Ekman-Larsson has it now for the Swedes. Oliver Ekman-Larsson drops it off. Louis Eriksson works it around and behind the goal. Drops it off for Mattias Ekholm, who's jumped in. Ekholm drops it off to Ekman-Larsson. 30 seconds to go in the period. Nifty move by Ekman-Larsson. Shoots, that's blocked. Ekholm holds it. Winds and fires. That's blocked by Sabotka. Racing to it is Eriksson. Louis Eriksson. Off the bench comes Kronwall. He finds him with the pass. Now Ekholm with it. 10 seconds to go in overtime. The play remains onside for Ekholm. Throws that in the corner. Here's Eriksson with it. And Louis Eriksson rings it around. And this game is going to a shootout. 5-5 the score. And a shootout to decide on the opening day of the World Hockey Championship.
The 2015 IIHF World Hockey Championship from Prague and Ostrava, Czech Republic is brought to you by RBC. Proud to support hockey in Canada to help more kids reach their someday. By Imperial Oil. The Esso brand is the proud sponsor of Hockey Canada and Team Canada. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey teams. And by TELUS, the biggest fans of Canada's biggest game. The 2015 IIHF World Hockey Championship from Prague and Ostrava, Czech Republic is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
What a nightcap to a great day in Prague, Canada. Earlier today, Jason Spezza had a pair. Sidney Crosby scored on a penalty shot, 6-1 over Latvia. The Americans beat Finland 5-1. Russia over Norway 6-2. And now a shootout.
Jaromir Jágr watching the proceedings. Of course, the Czechs back in 1998 won a famous shootout against Canada to advance the gold medal game in Nagano.
Dominik Hasek performance.
Yes. Albert Einstein's here. Nice to see.
Game hasn't been that long.
No, just feels like it. What a night, though. This atmosphere is unlike anything you'll see in hockey.
The Canada-Czech game lines up to be a pretty good one, doesn't it?
That'll be on Monday night. Past this young man's bedtime, but it's a holiday weekend. So on we go to the shootout. Now remember, it's the IIHF shootout, so 3 rounds. And then after 3 shooters, if it's still tied, you can use any player as much as you want. And the shooting order changes after the 3rd round. The first time that was tried or used was in Leksand, Sweden in 07, the World Junior Championship. It was absolute bedlam at the scorer's table. No one knew how to apply the new rules. So the Swedes are going to shoot first. And they're just now getting an off-ice rink worker off the ice.
The goalies were at the wrong net, so Salak moves to the net. He defended in overtime, as does Jonas Enroth. And Elias Lindholm from the Carolina Hurricanes will be the first shooter for the Swedes. He's got a really good shot. Quick release.
Elias Lindholm. Alexander Salak. Score! Wow.
There it is. That's a quick release. Low to the stick side. Lindholm right over the pad under the blocker. A perfect shot. The Swedes have the first goal.
Now, the first shooter for the Czechs is Jakub Klepiš. A little false start. And in comes Klepiš with a head of steam. Backhand stopped by Enroth.
Klepiš takes it to the backhand, and Enroth stays right with him. Quickly on the attack was Klepiš. There's Enroth with the blocker stop. Now Jakob Josefsson, who shoots a lot in New Jersey in the shootout. He likes the backhand deep.
His forehand gets stuck to the pad by Salak. Means 1-0 Sweden.
That's a big save for Halak to make, as Josefsson could have put the Swedes up by a couple. He stays with them nicely and makes the blocker stop, and that'll bring up Jakub Voracek. A couple assists on the evening for Voracek.
The Czech captain, Jakub Voracek, in, score! Whoa!
Out to the right, slowly in, waiting to see if he's got any room on the blocker side, and this is a perfect shot by Voracek to equal the score after 2 rounds.
Now the third shooter is the defenseman, Ekman-Larsson. Oliver Ekman-Larsson in, scores!
Remember in the overtime, Ekman-Larsson got in clean against Salak. He tried to go low pad. This time, he goes up over top of the right shoulder. And it'll be Vladimir Sobotka with a chance to extend the shootout for the Czechs.
Yeah, that's the score here for the Czechs. In comes Sobotka on Enroth. Little head fake. Enroth makes the save. And Sweden wins its opener 6-5 in a shootout. So the Swedes get 2 points. The Czechs will take 1 as Sobotka is turned away by Jonas Enroth on a wild Friday night in Prague. It's the Swedes who come out on top.
Even Albert Einstein in the crowd. Boy, you didn't have to be Albert Einstein to know that that was an amazing hockey game. For the first in a tournament, that was almost like a playoff game.
Well, I don't know where it goes from here, but that was pretty exciting. You just could not get Jaromir Jagr on the ice in overtime. He was struck by a puck and then a stick in a power play situation in the third period. He wasn't available for the Czech Republic, but boy, they came back. They were up 5-4. I thought it was over, and then a fan shot and a redirect on both final goals. Ties it up late for the Swedes, gets them to the overtime in the shootout. They had a chance 4-on-3 on the power play in the overtime. Did Sweden to win it that way. It just didn't happen with Voracek in the penalty box, but they got it done in the shootout.
Closest game of the day. Again, Canada won earlier, 6-1 over Latvia. Off day tomorrow. They play Germany on Sunday. Tomorrow, the Americans, who beat Finland 5-1 earlier, will take on Norway. Look at that slate of games. We're going to be up bright and early. 6 a.m. Eastern, Slovakia, Denmark, France, Germany, Latvia, Czech Republic, and then the Norwegians and the Americans. Norway losing to Russia 6-2. Bob Airy, great opening day. Can't wait to keep it going tomorrow.
Well, it's a good start, and lots of coffee tomorrow, Rod. Be ready.
Lots of coffee. They'll get it going. They're not drinking coffee in the Czech Republic right now, by the way. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, at the Worlds.